Wow, when it rains, it pours, and there's a flood of bad news for a lot of different cruise lines to report today. Hello, cruise friends. Jeff here with the latest round of negative news from the cruise industry. Let's start with Princess Cruise Lines. Remember what happened to Royal Caribbean's Radiance of the Seas about 2 weeks ago? At the beginning of their Alaska cruise season, the ship developed propulsion problems that caused them to delay and then cancel their first cruise. Well, something similar is happening with the Sapphire Princess. Sailing from Los Angeles to Vancouver to start the Alaska season, the Sapphire started having propulsion problems too. They were supposed to leave Vancouver on May 11th, but stayed in port a bit longer to work on the problem and didn't leave until the morning of the 12th. Because of the problem, some parts of the itinerary have been scrapped, including Ketchikan, scenic cruising through College Fjord, and, oh man, a visit to Glacier Bay. Wow, that is heartbreaking. Although Princess hasn't confirmed it at the time of this recording, it looks like the propulsion problems are still happening. We'll have to wait and see how this problem affects future sailings on the Sapphire. But the problems for Princess don't end there. One of my favorite Princess ships, the Enchanted, is sailing the east coast of the United States this fall, and they've already had to make some itinerary changes. Because of local limits on the number of cruise ship visitors, the Enchanted Princess won't be visiting Bar Harbor, Maine, but will instead call on Portland, Maine. Bar Harbor is limiting cruise visitors to just 1,000 passengers today, which is going to take that port off of the itineraries of most cruise ships. But it doesn't end there. The Enchanted will also not be going to Rockland, Maine, but instead go to Eastport, Maine. And on Sunday, September 1st, they will spend the day at sea instead of visiting Newport, Rhode Island. Again, this is primarily due to passenger restrictions. Carnival Cruise Lines is also having some problems. The Carnival Pride has had a change in dry dock scheduling that's caused them to cancel a full 2 weeks of cruising. They were scheduled to be offering 7-day cruises out of Baltimore. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that the dry dock isn't going to happen until late March of 2026, so close to 2 years away. Before I tell you about the final story, I'd like to ask you to be a friend and give this video a thumbs up so that it's more likely to get recommended to others. And if you could also show a little love and subscribe to the Backroads Tourist channel, I'd appreciate it. It costs you nothing to join, and you'll be the first to know when new videos are uploaded. Finally, are you a fan of Jimmy Buffett? Well, fellow parrot heads, you may want to think twice before chomping into a cheeseburger in paradise. The Margaritaville at Sea Paradise cruise ship, that is. The CDC just conducted a surprise inspection on the Paradise, and they found health and safety issues in 65 different areas, including food preparation, food storage, cleaning procedures, plumbing cleanliness, pool maintenance, and medical facility cleanliness. The CDC gave the Paradise a score of 83. Now, for perspective, a score of 85 or lower is considered to be unsatisfactory. So, what are some of the infractions? Well, I have to warn you, they're pretty gross. Water lines to the ship's medical facility, garbage room, engine room, and guest cabin areas all got violations for things like blocked vents, improper line markings, and excessive corrosion. Crew training got a violation when it came to food preparation. Several freezers and coolers weren't at the proper temperatures or were entirely out of service. There were faulty seals on refrigerators, ice buildup in a freezer, insufficient lighting, empty soap dispensers at a hand washing station, and dirty deck space underneath equipment. Now, these and other problems are what led to the low score of 83. Margaritaville at Sea will now have to correct these problems, or the Paradise could be prevented from sailing. By the way, so far in 2024, there have been some cruise lines that have gotten a perfect 100 score from the CDC. Celebrity, Disney, Norwegian, MSC, and Viking are all members of the 100 Club. So that's your dose of negative news for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jeff, and I hope to meet you on a future cruise.